We're getting underway with the picks and bans.
Oh, okay. Wasn't too sure it's going to be live or not this time round. It was meant to be just for the losers, winners, and grand finals, but we're going to get the losers, semis as well, which is going to be lovely.
ZenAku banning Ruins.
Can you blame him though to a certain point?
Yes, I can. I can blame him. I'm blaming him for banning Ruins. And dramiS banning Insomnia, so it's time for ZenAku to pick a map. Goes for Awoken, okay. And dramiS, wonder what he will pick.
Yeah, I'd be interested what's going to be picked next. Yeah,
if I were dramiS, I would probably pick something like Blood Covenant, because he's someone who's really good at railing and fast champion movement. So even if ZenAku bans Strog or Slash, he should have one of them. He goes for the Veil, okay. So he'll have to ban the Scale Bearer for sure. Yeah,
he may even ban on Awoken just in case, but we'll have to see how he goes about that, because he knows that Zen does love to play a Scale. Of course, Scale on Veil, name a better combo at this point, even in a LAN setting rather than online. So the next ban is coming in next from Zen. He decided to ban Blood Covenant, as that was the one you were suggesting, but Zen was like, nah.
That's the one I want to see, because we haven't seen Blood Covenant yet.
No,
and these players not catering to our needs. We're gonna finish on a Deep Embrace, alright.
So with the ban coming in and the choice from dramiS, either Deep Embrace and Corrupted Keep, I can totally understand with Corrupted Keep being banned. It's not really his cup of tea, especially with the rail heavy plays which dramiS sometimes makes with his reactionary style. And we're going to go to the champion style, so we can see what gets banned first. It will be the Strog from Zen, and we're going to see
Zen bans the Strog so that he bans the Slash on the last map. So that dramiS will not be allowed to play his best champions. So that's very smart. And dramiS, what will he pick for Awoken? Possibly, the Athena as well, right? dramiS is really good at the Athena.
And the question is, like,
I would leave the Athena though for open, so that at the end of Deep Embrace, that ZenAku has to ban either the Athena or the Slash, and dramiS could go with one of them. But dramiS is really good at the Athena at Awoken as well. So Athena versus Ranger on Awoken, that's an interesting one. It's very dangerous for the Athena player.
Surely this is going to be a Scale ban for dramiS. Yes,
yeah,
okay, it is. There we go, straight away. And, Slash is still available. We've seen Slash being played by Maxter and Razy in the past on Deep Embrace. We know that dramiS loves his Slash. If he loves it on Deep Embrace, that could be another story here. Zen just getting ready to pick his next champion to decide what's going to happen. I suppose he's had to wait a little bit. I think he definitely knew that Scale is most probably going to get banned, so he's going to go for the BJ pick.
Okay. He's expecting probably a Sorlak from dramiS, but I think upon seeing the BJ, dramiS will have to either go for a Nizen, Galena, or something else entirely.
We've seen Kill rarely, but do you want to do it on LAN though?
Not against the BJ. Yeah. Especially not against the BJ. That's a tank buster, right? You just got to go with something else. Something that's more consistent throughout. And there's the Galena. Okay, the more sensible pick. And now the ban should be an easy Slash ban here for ZenAku.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember when the last time we saw dramiS play as Slash on Deep Embrace. I'm pretty sure we have done in the past and in the history books, but let's see if he does ban it or if he does ban something else entirely different. Of course, we've still got a few champions available, still got the Doom as well available. Slash, we mentioned it in the past. As it will be the Anarchy ban.
Okay, I don't know. If either ZenAku has a master plan or he got it under his own head a little bit now. And there's the Slash ban.
Straight away.
What are you going to do to counter this, ZenAku?
How long did that take him to select the Slash? Like, literally less than 5 seconds?
Yeah, he's like, he's going to give me the Slash, I'm just going to run with it. And ZenAku is now wondering, why did I leave the Slash open?
Yeah, it's interesting. But, Anarchy and Slash, they're two good picks for Deep Embrace. But yeah, I can understand, of course, having a Slash banned instead. But
he has to go,
ZenAku now needs to decide exactly.
He has to go with the Nyx, right? It's got to be the Nyx. Either the Nyx or a Doom. Something like that, because there's not much else. He goes with a Sorlak. Okay, that Sorlak is fine as well for Deep Embrace, honestly.
But it does mean that dramiS is going to, again, heavily have to keep his distance and really be careful and take an element of caution on how he's going to progress with that Slash as well.
It's a good thing that the Sorlak was still there in the pick, or I would be a lot more worried for ZenAku.
Yeah, it's like Doom's... He's not bad, but he's not great either. He's okay. Yeah, I think that's the best way of putting it. He's okay.
If there's no fast champion anymore, then Doom is fine. There's nothing special about it. He's just fine.
But looking at the pick so far, we'll be keeping a close eye on that first map with the Athena pick coming out.
Yeah, that one is going to be very rough for the Athena, because Athena, dramiS is going to be zooming all over the place. We're trying to get a quick rail in to try and eventually push, but ZenAku, he might as well just stand in one place with shotgun out, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to show up. He just wants to stand in one place with rocket or shotgun to try and hit the rocket to orb combo. That will be his plan, basically.
Certainly will be. So we'll be going on the first map. We'll be on Awoken. It will be ZenAku as the Ranger. And it will be dramiS playing as the Athena. We'll have to see how that is going to turn out. You know, there's a lot of pros and cons in this matchup. dramiS obviously just coming off that 2-1 win over Chain earlier on in the losers quarters. Now moving to losers semi. ZenAku going to see how this is going to pan out. The last map is very interesting itself. The fact we're going to have the Sorlag versus the Slash. It's not a combo we've seen Deep Embrace, well, a common trend you could say, you know, it depends on meta picks and stuff like that. But, you know, one of his favourite champions being Slash as well, even though it's not on Ruins, you know, Deep Embrace is pretty much the next best thing for him.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the starting stack as well, and how clean he can get some of those frags with the Slash.
I think ZenAku either wins this 2-0 or he loses this 2-1. Yeah, because if he goes to the third map, I think dramiS is just based on the Slash pick and how good dramiS is with the Slash, and the fact that it's a very open map. Sorlag's biggest weakness is, you know, that he's very susceptible to being railed, and Slash, dramiS on the Slash, that's all he's going to do to you. He's going to rail you from every single angle. So I think if it does go to the third map, ZenAku almost loses that by default unless he plays out of his mind. The other two maps is where ZenAku really has to give it his all.
He certainly will do, as we're now heading into the loser semi-finals. This will be a best of 3 between ZenAku and dramiS. Whoever's going to win will be facing Razy in the losers finals later on. And yeah, some very interesting picks coming out from both these players. Actually totally different compared to the previous series they had yesterday.
Do you think ZenAku will be upset if he loses versus the champion he has tattooed in his arm?
Might be getting it removed.
Just replace it with Nyx.
Maybe, as we're now going to head into this first map. Starting off from ZenAku's POV, already picked up the Mega, gone straight for the light as well. Hasn't got any weapons in his arsenal, just prioritising the items straight away. Picks up the Shoddy and the rail as well.
He has shotgun, he doesn't need anything else.
That's it.
Just stay there. Okay, we see him try to move on to center map. He also has that rail, which I'm not... I think dramiS spawned at the rail, so ZenAku getting the rockets as well. Now he has everything he needs to stop Anathema. Staying at the center map. Mag is about to spawn. dramiS will be trying to collect the heavy for himself instead. No shot has been landed. ZenAku just really waiting on the angle and not able to hit it just yet. Back on the center map, just trying to listen out for some cue. Oh, good rail by dramiS. Somehow found an angle there, and the rails are starting. I like ZenAku's speed there, because if dramiS will... Oh! The orb might come into play very soon.
And they could do indeed, waiting for him to go back through that choke point. He decides to back down anyway. ZenAku has...
He knows the delay. The Mega, nice. Knew exactly the timing of heavy and should be able to collect both of the items. dramiS hanging around a little bit too long, but he knew he needed some damage to prevent ZenAku from pushing him right now. Does he have the hook? He does. Oh, he does have one hook. That's going to save him.
That definitely saved his backside. Now ZenAku just looking to recover just a little bit here. Just eat up the lights as he pushes up for that next Mega. Will be up in 4 seconds. dramiS already top mid to try and contest in some way. Good use of the tri-bolt there. Did a fair amount of damage, but doesn't stop the fact that ZenAku does pick up the Mega. It's got the high ground now. Just try and raise some rockets down there, but let's be honest, he didn't really have much rocket ammo anyway. I only had one, I think, if I remember rightly. And now he's going back to top mid, and he's going to try and rotate back around, looking to see if he's dropped back down, which he has not. As both players are just a bit of mind games here and there at the moment, trying to, you know, lightly contest some of these items whilst going back for their own. As both of them are top mid. ZenAku is replenished his rocket ammo from earlier on, heading towards top mid. Good first rail though. Is now jumps back in that choke point, but does pick up the Mega whilst consuming another rail coming up from ZenAku.
3 in a row versus Athena, that's not easy to do, and dramiS is actually railable there. He's still hanging around. ZenAku might just go through the choke point. Oh, and he hits the rocket. Not direct, but he does a significant amount of damage. And here's more, and the frag might come very soon. And there it is, the frag with the orb to finish it up. I was very surprised to see dramiS hang around for so long there.
Yeah, I was as well. Good use of the shotgun from Zen. Used the orb just for extra insurance. 2.5 minutes in, Zen gets his first frag, picks up the Mega. Heavy's coming up in the next 5 seconds. Perfect position at the moment to rain down any rockets if dramiS does play it quite aggressively towards the Heavy, but does more than enough damage to keep dramiS at bay. Could be rotating back around top mid, which he has done, looking to be a little more aggressive, not before consuming that last rail from dramiS.
Nice, I see. Oh, dramiS can finish, get a kill now, and ZenAku trying to go for the orb to go faster, but the orb does not go any faster than that it is, but ZenAku spawns right next to the Mega to be able to collect it. dramiS still playing on basically nothing, still railable. Oh, he catches the health just before he's able to die, and ZenAku doesn't care, he just keeps hitting. And I'm finally seeing dramiS starting to use his hook more and trying to go for weirder rail angles, and that's really what he wants to do. And this time around, trying to go, using the hook to go for an LG fight, not quite working in his favor. ZenAku, whose rail keeps hitting.
And this is exactly what he needed to do, but dramiS now on the back foot, could be trapped in the corner. Still has a hook in hand though. Isn't railable anymore. It's that 4-minute mark. Nice little bit of damage there with the rocket. At least he's got the info he needs as well. Can we go back around, but nice rail again from Zen, leaving dramiS on 10 HP. And he's actually orb straight through, and I like how he delayed the orb a little bit to make dramiS think maybe he's coming through, maybe he's not, just making him second guess, but you know, in the end, takes him down. Nice clean frag there coming out from Zen.
Yeah, good mind games there by ZenAku, getting under drami's skin a little bit as well. ZenAku so far seems to be playing really well, because Ranger definitely has the advantage in close range, but with all of the rails that ZenAku has been hitting, he seems to be having the advantage in long range too. So drami's not given much leeway to perform with. Oh, and
good
lands
rail.
again.
And good shoddy to follow up as well. 4-1 now in favor of Zen.
If he misses that rail, drami's gets the Mega and potentially a kill. ZenAku has been landing all of the rails that he needs to and getting frag after frag.
This is exactly it. And considering how small Athena's hitbox is, Zen still tracking very well. Just at the halfway point now. Zen's looking to see if dramiS is still running that rail area. He was picking up the bubble and the light. Hits with the first railroad, going through the TP. Zen knows that he may be rotating around to potentially push for this heavy. Nice amount of damage from that last rocket. He's going to look to see if he goes over top mid, which he makes a very good read. Heavy will be up in the next 5 seconds though, is Zen going back all the way around to see if it's an LG. If not, doesn't matter, he's going to be performing forward. But the only problem is that dramiS has picked up the heavy. Looking to back away again.
The pace of the game is now very slow, and I'm hoping we see Razy. Not yet.
Don't be later.
Yeah, dramiS is starting to, you know, go for weirder and weirder rail shots, just trying to find angles where they don't exist, because that's what Athena is really useful for. And as you can see, he's already trying to go, but it's still ZenAku landing all of the shots that he needs to. Every time dramiS tries to go for an angle, okay, he hit one that ZenAku didn't reply with, and he pushed immediately. Can he actually get the kill? There it is, dramiS. Some good hook play there.
Trying to throw him off with the orb. Sadly wasn't able to. But does give dramiS a little bit of leeway here into this matchup. Only a 2 frag deficit. Comes in with a hook. Nice amount of damage. 59 there around that angle. Still got 3.5 minutes left remaining. Doesn't need to, you know, overextend, push too hard or anything like that at all.
I thought he almost got it.
I was thinking about that as well, but
the pillar was there to save him.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. We'll say that was perfectly timed.
Oh.
And yeah, we're trying to see if anyone's top mid. Was not. He's already on the Mega. And depends on how dramiS is going to approach this. Can't really hit anything in the moment. And it's actually pushed in quite hard. It's actually overextended and then caught off guard.
He completely got lost track of ZenAku there. ZenAku dropped as soon as dramiS wasn't looking at him.
Oh, lovely LG there from Zen, just to keep him on the ground and keep hold of that height advantage.
Oh, a little bit of a missed time by ZenAku. It's heavy, the one item spawning right now, and if dramiS is fast enough, he might get to the Mega on time. Oh, I think he missed the jump, right? Because he went lower to the light armor instead.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with him because he had the stack as well, and I think he had a feeling that Zen may have mistimed this. But in the end, Zen is the one with a slight stack advantage here.
2.5 minutes to go, and it's all on dramiS' hands. Here he comes, he avoids most of ZenAku's damage from what we see on ZenAku's screen. Does a little bit of damage. ZenAku just trying to play as defensive as possible, because this is really hard, right? To chase a Ranger, especially when he has the orb. ZenAku's trying to land the shot, but it's really hard to land hit on Athena, and he does land the combo, but dramiS he's escaped with virtually nothing, and with 15 seconds to go for a major item to spawn, dramiS needs another 20 seconds to stack back up.
Yeah, if Mega was come up a little bit sooner, then wouldn't have been too bad, but it's much back to his default stack almost.
But ZenAku not pressuring the heavy at all, just allowing it to go for dramiS. Mega, okay, he has to go for the Mega, he does get the Mega. And dramiS, I think it was actually good for him that he missed the first hook.
Yeah.
Else he could be in a lot of trouble. ZenAku now getting the orb back up. And ZenAku, with 90 seconds to go, we can try to play, you know, the very, very close range game. Because if dramiS goes very close, even if he has a lot of stack, it's very hard for Athena to get the kill without dying in the process against the Ranger in this orb.
He certainly could with his defensive rockets and rails. There's no reason why he can't, but dramiS has caught him there. Nice little 70 from that last rocket. You can see where Zen is going to go to next. He's going straight through. He's going to check his east top mid. He's a witness, but Zen's actually picked up that light. He's going to try and dive straight on in. A perfect direct there from dramiS to try and clean this out. He's going to go back around to see if he can try and finish off Zen. This is the perfect opportunity to try and get that full frag. He actually baits out the orb. Doesn't fall through in the end. Shouldn't accuse him of the LG. Does it in the end. Now a 1 frag deficit. And in all fairness, that frag wasn't too bad. He's still got a decent stat to continue with the pressure. Yeah. Mega's come up in the next 5 seconds as well, but then again, so is the heavy. But decides to try and prioritize for the kill instead, and looks like he will be getting that heavy.
Yeah, and in ZenAku should still know the timing of the Mega, so some stack to play with. But dramiS using the hook to get close, and he gets the second kill and tying up the game.
That was so risky. A lot of players were like, why would you even try and attempt that? But the thing is, though, if it's not expected, then this is the situation. You know, Zen is normally one of those players who expects all types of surprises, but that was one. Wasn't expecting too much. Just a little bit unprepared for that, but there was some great rockets to trap him into that corner. Oh, that wasn't hourglasses, but this is looking really good for dramiS so far. Shoes stacks, and you know that dramiS is the kind of player who will not hesitate at all. He can spell blended and watered. Good use of the orb, comes out with a shotgun, and Zen manages to get it just before sudden death was going to be initiated. And ZenAku, my man, will be going through after that first map. I think going into the second now, and this is going to be a doozy of a series already.
I think dramiS got a little bit too excited with the 2 frags before that one, because ZenAku had just picked up the Mega, right? He has good enough stack to, you know, tank 2 rockets, and then he has the orb on top of that. And dramiS, that was his last hook as well. There was no more escape route. That was a full-on close range commit versus a Ranger that has enough stack to tank 2 rockets and has the orb. I definitely think he got a bit overexcited for that one.
Bit too excited to that degree. Yeah, I can understand that. I think you could see what his game plan was. I think he wanted to try and like hook on up and try and make something happen. But the problem as well, you know, he had orb in hand. He already had the perfect weapon selection as well. He was ready for it.
It wasn't even surprising because he just did it in his face. If he came from another angle, maybe ZenAku wouldn't expect it. But ZenAku was watching him hook onto him. So yeah, I think a bit of overcommit there by dramiS costed him that map, but again, a very close series between these two.
It sure was. And it wasn't like foresight or good reads. It's like you said, he saw it happening. It wasn't like he had to predict anything or something like that. It was, you know, just a shame that play didn't work out for him. We know the play works beautifully to tie the lead earlier on with those rockets coming up from Mega to try and trap him, but this time round, Sandy was just a little bit too predictable, and this time round, Zen was more than prepared because he knew that something like this could happen once again after picking up the Mega.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much health and armor ZenAku actually have before and after that frag, and as we'll see in the replay, we'll see it in just a bit. This is the 3-1 frag. And here is ZenAku just trying to, you know, extend his lead. This was a really good push, for instance, because the creativity of those hooks was really good, but ZenAku landed a really cool rail shot that didn't allow dramiS to keep pushing.
Yeah, some of the shots during the first 5 minutes Zen was hitting was just ridiculous. Athena's, of course, not the easiest champion to consistently have a high accuracy on, no matter what weapon you have. And yeah, you saw that was the play for dramiS. Really, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't too sure on the exact whereabouts. And this is again another moment coming out from dramiS. Even though he took a lot of damage, but that's from the rockets, the orb as well. And this is another one where from the direct, he knew could try and close this out. Charged his orb again, tried to fake him out, but dramiS just did not fall for it. He was more than ready to continue on with that engagement. And yeah, definitely could have gone either way. It was extremely close to it. And I was very impressed by this one, even though a lot of players would be like, you know, get annoyed and why did you make that move?
174 to 80. Oh, okay, so you have, as we saw, you have enough health and armor. How much is 174 plus 80?
174 plus 8, 254.
That's amazing. So 254, enough to tank 2.5 rockets.
Yeah.
Not. I don't think Athena can even get up to 274. Probably can or can't.
Depends on the circumstances, really.
Yeah, but it's really hard for the light champion to even have that old total stack, especially when he has DR. But now we're going on to Veil of Not, and it's going to be dramiS rocking the Athena against ZenAku's BJ. Much more balanced match all around this time.
So it will be indeed. I've noticed we've been seeing a lot of BJ picks coming out on Veil. But Galena has been as standard as they come. Not really say a counter, but just, you know, a sensible, confident pick for any player coming in. So at the moment, dramiS, very tiny stack lead. 3.5 second difference between the items. dramiS now just trying to get all the weapons in his arsenal, but it's Zen with the high ground, or did have the high ground, well still technically does, just hovering around the LG to see if he can get a little bit more damage done, which he has. Now on 89 HP, still railable, but the problem is still hits him with that rail, just keeping his distance. That was a great rail to keep himself alive.
Oh, he's going to be able to get the Meg after landing that beautiful rocket as well. So dramiS already trying to predict ZenAku's movements. Will he get him? ZenAku very close to actually going down to the lower, and if he does, dramiS is completely ready for it. Is it gonna happen? Oh, it doesn't happen in the end.
Yeah, dramiS is like, yeah, forget that. Let's just make a little bit of noise with the rocket and try and drop down and try and get away. But he has the overstack very early.
Oh,
good rails as well straight afterwards.
Rail.
Heavy is all being picked up. Mega will be out in the next second. Not like, oh, I was going to say, not like dramiS needs it. He definitely needs it now after that last rail. Perfectly well timed. And at some stage, you can see as well, the way dramiS is playing, he's taking the same routes every time, so he can defend the totems, but also consistently pick up the hourglasses and just continue with that stack. And at some point, Zen's going to be thinking, you know, like, how many totems has he got up? How much has he recovered and replenished his health?
It's only been 3 minutes, and he's picked up like 7 megas.
Technically, yeah.
Totems.
Technically, he has done. It does feel that way. Minute 45 now going
Now
in.
that he got the heavy as well, ZenAku has nothing to play with. He's been starved out of all of the items. And dramiS, I was hoping he would go a little bit more on the offensive now, instead of waiting for this Mega, because he can just pick up the Mega after. But he's deciding to, you know, play it a bit more safe. And hopefully for him, yep, that's what I was thinking this was going to happen. ZenAku just goes to the lower part of the map, and since there's no pressure, he just goes and destroys all of the totems. But dramiS still in the driver's seat. He has good position. Oh, ZenAku forced to use the dual wheel to try and bully dramiS out of the room, but doesn't quite happen just yet. Oh, in the trail, there was barely an angle there. And dramiS trying to close it out, but ZenAku being very cheeky with his movement. Is there an angle there?
Well, he's got no rockets left, no rails left, barely in the LG ammo.
Yes, no
he's got
ammo.
a shot is perfectly fine, but yeah, as long as it gets a little bit closer, then yeah, that things definitely could have changed. So needs to work on his ammo management a little bit. Has picked up the rockets, haven't really got much LG as of yet. I think he's going to realise that. Yeah, he knows when he's straight away. Nice, good stuff as well. Finally strike with the rockets. Managed to pick up the rail along the way. So able to sort out that ammo department anyway along the way, making that rotation whilst also taking down Zen at the same time. So good use of being proactive. Good first rail coming out from Zen. May come through the TP. He's timed it quite well. Dual wood with the LG as well to stretch insurance. Good stuff from Zen to tie things up.
I think that's a big mistime by dramiS. And again, he's waiting at the heavy 3 seconds before it spawns. So 2 mistimes in a row by dramiS give ZenAku 2 free frags pretty much.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Zen just looking to stay alive. Just pick up the hourglasses in case dramiS keeps them all for himself with his totems layer. Still does know about the one on the second floor near the heavy. Speaking of totems, did face plant into one and took a little bit of damage from the LG, but too bad so far.
That's it, that's good use. Oh, the double rocket and the dual LG doing so much damage, and then the rail at the end. Both players now with the same stack, even though dramiS is the one that picked up all of the major items, thanks to the dual wheel by ZenAku, and he's already in good position to defend this mega health. dramiS should not have any real chance of attacking it. I think dramiS will be more focused in doing what he was doing at the start, just, you know, trying to go for the totem plantation again. He wants to actually attack this heavy, but ZenAku is right on top of him. Oh, he goes in, and ZenAku actually missing the rocket, and he gets somehow railed in the back. Not much health for ZenAku. dramiS is going to go very aggressive right now, for sure. He knows exactly where ZenAku is, and ZenAku being very paranoid with the angles he gives away. I thought he was gonna die right there. Oh, and he does get hit with a totem. dramiS is right there, decides not to push because there's a mega spawning, and he favors his stack. Let's see if dramiS will eventually decide to push. Heavy is coming up. ZenAku tried to get there on time. Was not able to just yet. Trying to get there from the top. I think he might have heard the timing, so he at least knows the timing on the heavy. dramiS, I was hoping he would be a little bit more aggressive because he's been having these kind of opportunities. Not taking any advantage from the stack advantage that he may have.
Yeah, Zen back to default. dramiS wasn't too far off until he picked up that mega. He will be now after taking that last rail. Tiny bit of LG, just wait to see if he comes with a TP, which he has done. So it does run a TP, just in case. Doesn't miss it a little bit. He's going to get the heavy as well. Trying to back away, left on 2 HP. Surely dramiS is going to finish things off with the driveway. He doesn't, and now he's the one who's also going to be almost as weak, but both of them have picked up the armor anyway, so it's going to take another rail. But
oh my god, I was
damage there.
I was so scared
goodness.
by ZenAku there if he went up the jump pad. I really thought he was going to do it. But yeah, dramiS, again, another opportunity missed. He had everything to get that kill and tie up the game, but not going for the shot, not landing it. Possibly yet another opportunity. And I'm not sure how many more he's going to be able to get.
This is it.
Oh my god.
The rocket, that's going to be huge for Zen. He's looking to be quite aggressive, pushes on forward, uses the dual wood in case he pops on forward anyway. Surely dramiS can't push it. He's waiting for to go and still continues on anyway.
Rail at the
rail
end,
as well. dramiS looking to try and get away, and Zen's the one looking to see if he's going to recover from Rocket Room onto Light, which he is not. He's already eaten up the Light for him. Going back through again. dramiS still somehow staying alive. A little bit of damage from the Rocket. Good tri-bolt as well. Still trying to push Heavy. Finally able to get the frag. That was just absolute mayhem. But it's going to be Zen who does pick it up. But in the end, face plants the totem, going to go forward. dramiS looking to, was thinking about it first, but decides to leave it. My goodness, the last 30 seconds have been chaos.
Just pure chaos. You can't tell who's going to win a fight until the fight is actually over. Because so many little things in the middle of the fight are turning them around. But ZenAku with a 2 frag lead. Not really any established control, but he knows the item timings, and that is a great combo by him. 200 damage, and he has the dual wield out. And dramiS does decide to go for the heavy. He does a lot of damage to ZenAku. Both players pretty much on the same stack. Once again, mega spawning in 5 seconds. Should be easy to collect for ZenAku. Doesn't really have any armor whatsoever. There's the light armor spawning right on cue.
I like that from Zen as well. He just used up all his rockets because he knew that Mega wasn't going to be up for at least 5 seconds a little bit. He had enough rockets to make sure to delay any kind of push coming out from dramiS.
It's a heavy. And ZenAku, another facial rocket that he lands onto dramiS. That's got to be frustrating at some point, right? It's like the 7th he hits this map. He does allow the heavy to go in the way of dramiS, which I find a bit odd, especially after the first rocket. I thought he could have held his ground, but he didn't have good timing on it, so he just decides, I'm going to play it safe, I'm just going to go away, not take any damage, and make sure I can at least collect the mega, because I'm in the lead. I don't need to take risks right now.
Well, 2 frags required still for dramiS. Just trying to look for that opening, but some of his directs, the rails coming out from Zen, it's just not leaving him any leeway at all. But again, that was a good rocket in itself coming out from Zen.
How many times has he hit this combo from the same position? He keeps landing it.
Too many times.
He hits the rocket in the rail, and then he switches to the dual wheel shaft, and he gets the kill. That's been the name of the game. Over and over again, and with 90 seconds to go, how can a Galena versus a BJ even do this? I don't see it happening.
I don't see either. We have seen some crazy plays coming out from dramiS. He's going to have to start playing over-aggressive soon, though. He's got to try and get 3 frags, and one of them could lead to a death, as they're not going to be the cleanest frags, of course.
Oh my god,
the direct again!
Make it stop! This is disgusting.
But this is saving his bacon every time. He's saving his backside, and more than one, like at least 3 or 4 occasions now. Left on 11 HP. dramiS could still take it down and just out of range. And this is typical.
dramiS even
and he's going to get the heavy as
up.
well, maybe. But he's actually left it, decides to prioritize time and just waste as much as possible. And why not?
Oh, ZenAku, I think he's going to apologize to dramiS again after this.
Well, with the amount of long-range directs he's about to hit so far, the rail again is going to take him out. So dramiS does take him down.
2 frags, 30 seconds.
Not
it's
the
still
best
possible.
Either. Yeah,
it's still possible, and I let's see. dramiS now getting some help. He has the totem overstack.
He has to dual wield though. This is the problem which dramiS is going to have. 20 seconds left. It's almost mathematically impossible. And now looking to see if he's going to come on up. We'll find him. Knows that he's dropped down below, but it's pretty much is mathematically impossible. Now, even if he gets this frag, it has to be one of the quickest frags known to man. But just keeping him away, dancing around the pillar, it's just not going to happen. Saul does take him down. 2 seconds left remaining, and that's going to be it. So in the end, Zen does take him by 1 frag, wins the series 2-0, and will be greeted by razY in the losers finals.
Yeah, what a great game in the end. It was really close, and ZenAku once again managing to just play defensively perfect with hitting a facial rocket again and again on so many occasions, especially at the heavy area, right? He would just rocket to rail to dual wheel shaft combo again and again. It's got to be very frustrating to go up against that.
Well, Zen might as well get comfortable in that chair. He could be there for 1, 2, maybe 3 series, depending on how his lifeline is going to continue in this losers bracket. So we do have the 3 players confirmed. We've still got Maxter now in the grand finals. We have razY and ZenAku will be facing off against each other in the losers finals. But all I can say is, you know, commiseration to dramiS. He played extremely well, and you know, the fact that again both these maps went by 1 frag. It's some of the closest series we've seen so far.
He has to be happy with his performance. I mean, he lost to ZenAku both of the times, but the 2 times were due to very facial rockets, really.
Yeah, there was quite a few. 4, 5, something like that?
Yeah, a lot of them, really, because all of those situations were close, and ZenAku, I think we're going to see a lot of them in the highlights reel that we're showing now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say too many of them are blind either, because if you think about it, with the over-aggression...
It's just prediction rockets, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
I call him blind because he's not seeing him before he shoots the rocket.
Yeah, of course. But the only problem is like, there's only like 1 or 2 ways. Normally there's 1 way he can come from, and that's what he's going to expect every time.
That occasion that we saw in there, I think that's where dramiS had his best opportunity when he pushed ZenAku to the lower part of the map, but then ZenAku just managed to land the rails, and dramiS missed both of the shots. That's where dramiS could have taken the lead in this map. Somehow not working out for him, and as soon as ZenAku started getting... Look, that's going to be one of those occasions. That's a rocket to rail in the dual wheel shaft to finish it up.
And the funny thing is, sometimes even
again,
dramiS didn't take, even though dramiS didn't take any damage on 1 or 2 of the occasions, Zen would just use that dual as kind of a threat maneuver, just a kind of way of saying like keep away from the heavy. But dramiS would just say no. He would like make sure to contest it to its full potential. And yeah, here we go. We can see from here. I think this might that was actually earlier on with Fingers of Diving. That was actually at the end of the game. But
we barely
always stands around this archway. Yeah, exactly.
It's just very frustrating to go up against someone who's hitting so much defensively. And dramiS tried in a lot of different ways. You know, with the Athena, he was trying with very funky hooks. Didn't quite work out. And here, every time he tried to show up a corner, ZenAku was there to hit the very well landed prediction rocket onto him.
The fact that he kept it to, you know, between 1 frag, taking all those directs, all those predicted rockets. That
shows how well he was playing, like Dragonborn Esports, and he has to be very happy with his performance, because the score does not... both the 2-0s, because he lost 4 maps to ZenAku, but he could have won 3 of them, he could have won 4 of them, he could have won even 2 of them.
All of them, like, you know, this is it.